What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormally Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Mike, this is YouTube. Get your pants on. You good? Have you ever, Mike, been abducted by aliens?
From you sometimes, so I don't know.
They hide stuff from you and they hide stuff in you?
Pretty
Maybe,
much,
perhaps? I don't know. Now, I wanted to throw that question out there right away to start off this. I guess this is the flagship YouTube premiere, Mike, as far as the Paranormally Zone being YouTube exclusive. This is it.
That's right.
We figured we might as well make this a video episode. Now, before everyone gets their hopes up, not every new episode of the flagship Paranormally Zone is going to be video. Okay? So
Right.
Everyone sit down, calm down. Not going to see our glorious faces every week or every other week or what have you. But Mike said himself, he goes, since this is essentially the debut of the new beginning of the Paranormally Zone on YouTube exclusively, well, damn it, we're going to be on video. So here we are. It's good to see you, Mike. You look all cozy in your striped hoodie.
Yeah,
You got
it's
your skelly.
It's my.
Yeah,
it's
you look ready to go. You look
I am.
podcast worthy.
Yep, I am comfortable. I'm warm. I'm cozy.
Are you comfortably numb? That's the question.
Kinda. That's
Okay, you don't have to
no,
answer.
no.
Well, you know what? It's important to dress appropriately nowadays. I really hate this daylight savings time, Mike. It
Yeah.
gets way too damn dark, way too quick.
It does.
Feels like it's tomorrow right now, but nay, it is still Saturday. We are still the Paranormally Zone, your weekly dose for all things, or bi-weekly, or monthly, who the hell knows nowadays. Your dose of all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Hoffberg, and I'm joined, as always, by the previously mentioned co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, Mr. Michael Carbno. Mike, I didn't have any catchy little way to describe you this episode. That will come along. No
Yeah.
worries. It's become a part of the fabric of the Paranormally Zone. But I've mentioned this before, and I want to ask you again. Do you think when people they hear the phrase paranormal poster boy, do you think your face right there, your maybe comfortably numb image is what pops into their brains as a paranormal poster boy? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Because we're thinking about making those damn T-shirts. Is it going to be just your face? Your
I
face
don't know.
plastered on a white T-shirt? I don't know.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you comfortable with the moniker or the title, so to speak, of paranormal poster boy?
Yes, absolutely.
You are.
I've been known as that for how long now?
Many moons.
Yes.
Many moons. So, and the co-host with the ghosts.
Yes.
Don't forget that one.
Yeah.
So, and I've always worried that you've been offended by the co-host with the ghost phrase. Are you okay with that one?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, we're an open book here in the Paranormally Zone, the Paranormally Zone. I'm opening a vein. Yeah, I've always worried that I may have offended you by calling you a co-host. Not so. You're the co-host. I'm a co-host. We are hosting together.
Yeah, but I know, but people, I think, have different definitions of that. But
That's what I'm saying.
We'll go with what you're
That's what
saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think I need a nickname? You're the co-host with the ghosts. And trust me, everybody, we're gonna get to the meat of the episode here. I mean, just because this is a new beginning doesn't mean we're changing our structure
idiocy.
here, our format. Yeah, what he said. Do you think I need a nickname? And if so, what would it be?
Oh man.
And don't think too hard because I'm afraid of what you'll come up with.
I
That devious giggle of his.
the first thing that popped into my head was Squeaky Pat.
Squeaky Pat.
Squeaky Pat.
Okay, first off, you know how much I despise being referred to as Pat.
I know.
So
and squeaky doesn't help either.
No, that's, and I understand it. I do. Nasally whiny. I get it.
No.
That those descriptive terms were posted on iTunes reviews referring to me specifically. Nasally. What else? Whiny. Ooh, what else? Yeah. What the hell? No, I don't remember stuff like that at all. Do I, Mike? So
no.
Who cares?
No,
not at all. Not at all. Well, you can stop laughing at me. That's for sure. Mike, this is a cool episode for more reasons than one, though. We mentioned it. We discussed it on our Halloween Horror and Hoopla episode, the final episode available to Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, all that good stuff, iHeartRadio. We think we did the Paranormal Zone justice by signing out with another Halloween spooktacular. It is. Let's see. I already mentioned this in New Beginning. We mentioned it. We described our experience. But we're going to talk about it again. We're going to, in fact, devote this entire episode and a lot of other discussion, obviously, focused on what we saw, what we filmed at Standing Rock, historic marker just outside of Enderlin, your current humble abode. Standing Rock's about, what, 20 minutes away from Enderlin, North Dakota? 25 minutes?
Mm-hmm. And I also just heard all over the world, I just heard clicks of the...
Right, I know.
Everyone's
signing off. No, yep, exactly.
Just kidding.
Well, it's not just talking about... We're not just going to be talking about what we saw. And in fact, we'll leave it... We'll be as minimal as we can because we did, in fact, talk about it quite a bit on the last episode. And on the Patreon page, too, we did an immediate reaction video that we posted, obviously. Not even an hour or so after what we saw, because we're still kind of feeling that high. But we also have a lot of other interconnecting points and really interesting topics that intertwine with Standing Rock and its potential connections to UFO and UFO sightings.
At least our theories.
Our theories, for sure.
Yeah.
The title for the episode is still twirling around in my head. I'll land on something eventually. That proverbial hamster wheel is still circling away. Sorry if you hear the clicking. That's what's going on there.
Needs a little bit of oil on that.
It does. But Mike, that's why I kind of half-heartedly, jokingly asked you, have you ever been abducted by aliens? Because it was a hell of a long time ago. I was trying to segue into the topic right away. We saw a UFO. No ifs, ands, or buts about that, Mike. 2 Saturdays ago.
Yes, and
almost to the time. It was like a little bit after 8. That didn't make sense when I said almost to the exact moment in time when we saw this 2 weeks ago. Right. We are recording right now. Am I proclaiming too much here, Mike, by saying that was a profound experience?
Oh, it's totally profound. And what's even more profound is that the time before that we were there at Standing Rock is when I saw that round orb type thing flying, and then also got caught on film on the picture.
Yeah, on random pictures. Yeah. I caught the same thing that you saw. No intent. I had no idea. I didn't see him when I was taking these random photos.
Right.
I was taking a humorous photo of, well, it was humorous to me, of you because I'm down at the bottom of the hill and I'm looking up and I can barely see tiny little Mike in the distance. And I took a picture of it and I posted it on Patreon. I said, Mike, dot, 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 on a hill,
Yeah.
but then,
Fool on
you
the hill.
zoom in. Yeah, no. That's when I first noticed it though. I'm like, what is that? Is that a bird that's by Mike? Zooming in. No, perfectly round object.
Yeah.
Not only in that picture, but in another kind of a panoramic shot almost.
Yeah.
Because it's such a view up there when you're on top of a standing rock up there. It's beautiful. Kind of the exact same object. And again, we talked about, it's like, was it a drone? Was it someone simply flying their drone around there for whatever reason at that time? But it sure does add a little, it makes you think a little bit more after what we saw just 2 weeks ago, Mike. I'm still wondering if and when I should make this video of ours public.
Yeah.
Or if and when I should submit it to MUFON, Mike.
I think it absolutely should be.
We have contacts. One of our guests from 2 years ago, he is the head video expert, essentially, photo and video analyst for MUFON.
That's right.
Still have his contact info. I could probably just send it to him directly if I wanted to. Well, I guess if he still works there, I don't know.
Well, just at least reach out to him and see how he feels about that being done. I mean,
yeah. I mean, again, so we don't repeat ourselves. Long story short, we had an unbelievable experience. We believe it was legit UFO stuff. Clear as day, clear night. During the evening, we saw an unbelievably bright light, classic cigar-shaped, cylindrical-shaped UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, or anomalous phenomena, or the classic UFO, unidentified flying object, appear, Mike, over the horizon. You're the one who spotted it first. And he so eloquently stated, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Yes, and we're dropping F-bombs on the new YouTube exclusive Paranormally Zone. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth those F-bombs. And I was able to pull out the cell phone and film it. Man, that was still scratching my head, Mike. Still scratching my head. But you for sure believe that was a profound sighting.
Oh, absolutely. To me, it was very profound.
Now, we were at Class A. Now, we were at Standing Rock. Now, in case you are new to the program, and believe it or not, we have received new listeners on occasion. Hopefully, you will subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to bring out some factoids here, Mike, about Standing Rock, just to give everyone a little background info on a very sacred place just outside of Enderlin, North Dakota. It is protected by law, right, Mike? I mean, people cannot go and yeah. It's not just. Sorry, I'm going to pull up my reference material here.
It's a historical monument.
Yeah, it's a historical marker.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I got everything lined up over here. And I found the actual latitude and longitude, Mike. Because if you submit, I don't know if you have to, but it is preferred when you submit UFO sightings to MUFON, they would love if you had those actual specifics.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know where the hell we were, but hey.
Well, actually,
we found it.
Yeah, actually, the longitude and latitude are there on that marker that was put there in the 50s, I believe.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, here I did all this searching.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's classic me. I put far too much work and effort into things when I don't have to.
Oh well.
Oh well. Yeah, we're talking about Standing Rock, the historical marker, historical site just outside of Enderlin. The nearest town is actually Catherine, North Dakota. Catherine is a bit closer to Standing Rock than Enderlin. Is that correct?
I think Nome actually is.
Nome might be. Nome is considered a town still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure.
I'm kidding to all Nome residents.
Yeah.
All Nome residents. I'd love to, Mike. Again, we need to try and see if we can investigate, paranormally speaking, that Nome schoolhouse. Man, that
Yeah.
building is flipping cool with an alleged haunted history, but
Yes.
neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
Or
I'll
air.
save the latitude and longitude, all that stuff. No one cares about that.
Yeah. Except for MUFON.
Except for MUFON, exactly. Standing Rock Hill Historic Site, as we said, in North Dakota, Mike. It contains 4 Native American burial mounds. Now, people who have been longtime listeners and subscribers to the Paranormally Zone, they know that we've visited Standing Rock several times,
Mm-hmm.
and we have always been under the assumption, the belief that, yeah, we were upon burial mounds. I don't know if we if we ever had that confirmed. It's been, gosh, it's been 2-3 years since we first went out there, but we were under the assumption that we were surrounded by burial mounds, correct?
Right. Correct.
But it wasn't ever confirmed. Is that correct?
I don't.
As in, we didn't do our due diligence,
No,
and so
we
we didn't know for sure.
exactly right.
That's
Exactly.
yeah.
I
But
was
now,
just-
Mike,
yeah.
now we know 4 burial mounds, 3 conical,
Mm-hmm.
and one it's laying alongside all 3 of them. Like you walk up that hill, right where the marker is, right where the Standing Rock is. We're right on top of a large burial mound.
Right.
There's another conical one to the east of that main hill. There's another conical one to the right, and then there's I don't want to say cylindrical, but there's another one that is laying right in front of all 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it kind of gives heebie-jeebies in a good way.
Oh, right.
We've done several EVP sessions up there, and we think that we've caught some interesting replies to some of our questions. But just to get the actual confirmation, what did I send you, Mike, the other day? It was believed that there are up to 35 individuals buried in each mound.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So
Now that the energy there, that has to just be emanating.
Yeah, and the thing that I find fascinating too is that they were put there 2,000 years ago. They've been there for that long.
Yes, prehistoric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of a mind bender how long that has been there,
Mm-hmm.
and that will lead into more of our conversation here as we go along. The mounds are sacred to many American Indians. Obviously, they're protected by law from disturbance. They are dated from 100 BCE to 600 CE. Standing Rock Reservation, as we said, is located in North Dakota. The reservation itself covers 3,625 square miles. The Standing Rock Reservation we're talking about is the birthplace of Sitting Bull. It's I'm looking at pictures here,
which is
So,
also a completely different.
That's it.
It's the Standing Rock Reservation is a completely different.
Oh no, I get you,
Place,
But
yeah.
this is we're referring to the Standing Rock Historic or site here.
Yeah. Right.
Standing Rock itself. I mean, it's called Standing Rock because it's a rock that's standing.
Yeah.
How did I phrase this to you, Mike, when the thought first popped into my brain? Another uneducated thought popped into my brain. Shocking. It might have been this morning. What we saw made this pop into my brain. How long has Standing Rock and other potential sacred sites all over the world, but in this case, Standing Rock in particular, outside of Enderlin, North Dakota, how long has that been visited by these magical, mysterious lights? We know that Standing Rock, the site we were referencing here, was for hundreds and hundreds of years a place for ceremonies, for rituals, for offerings.
And yep.
And I kind of threw the idea out to you, Mike. Have those who lived on nearby around Standing Rock 1,000 years ago, did they gather there just to see those lights. I
Mhm.
mean, I might sound weird. I might sound kind of kooky. But was that something that happened more often than not? Was that place sacred in the first place because of potential UFO sightings
Yeah, it very well
back in
could
the
be.
day?
And
Well,
it's
what do you think about that? I mean, you can go whichever way you want to with that one. Does that jibe with you at all? Do you think it's kind
yeah,
of
absolutely.
it does?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
like the star people and all that have been part of that, the culture
Star
going
Seed,
how
Star
far back,
People.
yeah. So, yeah.
I think I rather would say Star People than Star Seed. I'm uncomfortable with the term seed.
Mm,
I'm just saying.
okay.
Anyone else uncomfortable with the word seed? Sorry, it's okay. You're supposed to laugh, Mike. Okay, come on. Oh, wait, I got several Mike laughs on here. So what the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, take your
Yeah,
pick.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. I don't need the real Mike. I got computer Mike. I'm the funniest guy in the world, right? Computer Mike. Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah.
That's
Anyways,
my stomach.
it's not your stomach. Good God. All right. So the thought of this place being sacred for any number of reasons, in particular,
Many.
maybe because this was oh gosh, Mike, in the classic movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind,
Right.
Devil's Tower is the main place in question, right?
This is Devil's Tower of North Dakota.
This is the Devil's Tower of North Dakota, much smaller scale.
Yeah. But it is
Richard Dreyfuss nowhere
it,
to be seen.
it is the
Yep, go ahead.
highest point in a large, area here. It is
Oh,
the
I
highest point.
believe it. How, man, you can see for
Yeah.
miles and miles when you're up in there. It's beautiful.
And that could very well have had something to do with why they were
Hmm.
drawn to that place. And
And it's such an open area.
exactly. And could you imagine during ceremonies and they probably lasted for days, and
Hmm.
there's probably thousands of people there, you know,
Hmm.
and
Right.
you could just picture this just fantastic, just sacred, spiritual, events going on, and they're honoring, their ancestors or whatever, that
Hmm.
there could have been these ceremonies going on, well, most likely even 1,000 years after these burial mounds might have even have been there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's just a lot to wrap your head around. I mean,
Well, and there's no, exactly, a lot to wrap your head around. Uh, Again, to sound like an uneducated human being, I'll say this off the top of my head as best I can, but again, in reference to the star seed and star people, a lot of the indigenous culture have beliefs that they are from the stars, that maybe the star people are in fact relatives or even, ancestors. They come from the stars. When they pass on from this existence on Earth, they return to the stars. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Burial mounds, they're burying their loved ones, their family members, their friends. Are they, in fact, at this very particular locale, offering their own loved ones back up to the stars? And these moving stars, Mike, well, we didn't see a moving star. We saw that classic cigar shaped UAP, but they're coming to perhaps pick them up.
yeah,
Um, I kind of gave myself heebie-jeebies thinking there. I mean, or what I was saying there, because it sounds cheesy and corny in a lot of ways. I get it, but I don't know. It kind of strikes a chord as well. I mean, is that a spot that is just a hotbed for a particular reason? Because that's like where the transition occurs.
right,
Maybe they come
exactly.
to Earth and then they leave this Earth. Your thoughts on that one,
Hmm.
Mike?
I love that. But it definitely needs for us to be doing a lot more investigating of that nature from up in that, you know.
Okay, so
And,
even like not even necessarily doing paranormally based stuff, for
well,
like EVP sessions and spirit box, but definitely kind of eyes to the sky type
Yeah,
stuff.
do it all together. Yeah. Well, like
Well, we went there. It should be made up. It should be pointed out that we went there with no intention of doing any sort of UFO. We weren't hopeful of capturing something
Right.
like that. Obviously, we weren't. We were up there doing our standard EVP spirit box sessions and so on and so forth. And it was by chance that we saw this, and it disappeared.
Yeah, it
Disappeared
faded
right
out.
above us.
Faded out.
Man, I still can't. You know how I am, Mike. I've been trying my damnedest to find a logical explanation for this.
Mm-hmm.
The last one I came up with was that the International Space Station?
Yeah.
Which might sound silly, but it made me a little concerned. Some of the pictures you find online and people saying, "Oh, this was my," and it looked just like what we saw. The classic cigar shaped, even the same color, the same size, and I'd see the snapshots, the thumbnails, and it would say International Space Station underneath it. And I'm like, what? It's like, no way. Like my heart sank.
Yeah.
It's like, please tell me that isn't what we saw. But after digging deeper, checking out all these, all these photos, these videos, long story short, that was not the International Space Station.
Right.
The International Space Station, if you see it, which you can see it quite often, I guess, on a
Mhm.
weekly basis, it appears as a star. It looks like just a single circular bright star moving in a straight line from west to east
Yeah.
at a very high speed. What we saw, Mike, not circular, not star shaped, and it turned. It
Mhm.
changed directions.
And
As Mike has heard repeating over and over on the video, it's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It turned. It turned.
I was
Yeah,
quite eloquent in my.
oh, it was great.
No.
I was thinking about cutting out some of your quotes and putting them on the sound bar for tonight, but I'll do it for future episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you hear me at one point too after I drop a bunch of F-bombs, of course. And I'm like, this isn't some stupid blanking like drone. And your reply was simply, no, it's long. It's long. It's long. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That debunks that idea right there. But
Well,
no, I kid, but
I don't
man,
know. The way I saw it, it was like it was moving very fast, kind of at an angle, and then
yeah.
and then I swear it turned to go more east, and then that's when it just kind of sparkly a little bit as it faded
Oh,
out.
it faded out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it almost became, like I said, if you look at it closely, you zoom in if possible at the very end, right before it disappears, it almost looks like it becomes transparent because it
Yeah.
flies like in front of some sort of celestial object behind it. If
Yeah.
it's a planet or a star, it is transparent. It's
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm doing the shape. Ooh, look at the shape right there. There's the shape. And it's like bright bluish, pretty solid. You can't, opaque. You can't see through it. And then all of a sudden it goes past that star, whatever it
Yeah.
was. And at
Kind
the
of
very end,
shimmery.
it shimmers, it
Yeah.
becomes transparent and disappears.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
was it was
Head scratcher.
cloaked.
Oh man, you're throwing out all sorts of things right there. Don't even throw that one out now.
Yeah, no kidding.
My head hurts as much as it is right now trying to wrap my mind around it. But
Yeah, you just go ahead and keep trying to debunk it if you want, but
no, well, I'm not trying
you're
to. I'm not trying to be like an obnoxious little
no.
dweeb.
I know what you mean. How you're doing it, which is good. I mean,
Mhm.
throw out all
Yeah.
the stuff that it could be.
Yeah.
But just like you just need to have it be a good life changing experience, and this has been kind of your slap in the face as far as UFOs go. But now
Yeah.
you're getting that much closer to your ghostly slap
Oh
in the
man,
face.
that ghostly slap in the face better get here soon.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Well, I was looking for a quick reference here from a Don't mind me, boys and girls. I have to type in the search again. Mike, you should sing a song while I search this. Can you do that?
Do
Not so
you
much.
know the way to San Jose? Da da
That
da
was
da
great.
da 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 da. Something like that.
That was awesome. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, I found it. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
A short, brief story here. This is from 2011, and this isn't it. This is not in reference to the Standing Rock Historic Site. Again, this is talking about the Standing Rock Reservation that we
Right.
mentioned earlier. We need to keep the
Yes.
differences here. There's also another Standing Rock that's like in Kent, I believe. What I'm drawing a blank on what state that is. Oh God, geography majors are screaming at me right now. There are more than one Standing Rocks out there.
Mhm.
So this is the one 20 miles out of Enderlin, North Dakota.
Close to my home.
Yes. So this is in reference to the Standing Rock Reservation. Standing Rock Sioux Tribe security officer reports UFO encounter. And again, I mentioned this already. This is dating back to 2011. This is from MUFON. Security officer from the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe came into contact with a UFO and 2 aliens. Like, this is according to the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON. This is a very abbreviated story here, so don't worry. The man left his job at the Standing Rock Sioux Casino late Sunday evening, was driving home when he said he saw lights spinning around his vehicle. He said, now try and envision this. This is just bizarre. He said one alien actually entered his car while another stood on the side of the highway.
Like
This is
opened
a
up
quote.
the door and sat down.
Yes. Pulled out a bologna sandwich and just, hey, how you doing?
Are you going 5 miles west?
I'm going to the end of this fence. Okay. This is a quote from the security officer. He said, then I saw this thing on the side of the road where the gravel road meets the road. And I'm reading this verbatim here. And before I knew it, it was on top of the car.
This
Mike's
thing.
grinning.
This thing.
Mike's grinning. This
I'm enjoying the
thing.
story.
He says it then, quote, reached in and touched my head through the windshield. Mike, hold it together.
True.
Through. And we're not talking like Terminator style where it like
No, I mean, yeah. Right.
busted through the windshield. He says it just went through it.
Like a hand through water.
Hey, very good. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Reached in, touched my head, and ran its hand down my back.
Oof.
He then said that my back got really hot. So,
as long as that's all that got hot.
Right.
He didn't even buy me dinner first.
No, exactly. Didn't even ask me for my number. What the hell? The incident occurred as the man was on his way to Eagle Butte, which is on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation. Now, if you want to click onto the complete story here, you can go to the other site offered, which I tried to do, but guess what? It asked me to sign up and subscribe, so I wasn't going to do that one. But
Okay.
you got the gist of that story. That's really interesting. Because that was a result of me typing in, Standing Rock UFO encounters, and that was one of the first ones that popped up. There is a history of UFO sightings and encounters around North Dakota and South Dakota. What the hell's going on there? You're a Nodak, Mike.
North Dakota.
Is it the flatlands? Are aliens attracted to the flatness? or what? See, he's distracted already. He's wondering.
Yeah, I thought I saw my dog walking by, but it wasn't. I don't know. But anyway,
what's going on?
What were you saying now?
Nothing. I wasn't saying
Okay.
anything at all. We're just doing a podcast. That's all that's happening.
It's wide open landing spaces is what they.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So.
Not too many hazardous spots, I suppose. That could
a lot of windmills.
Deter
the big wind turbines. You don't. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of those.
Again, it was a very brief example, but it was from a security officer. If that lends credence to it or not, that's up to you. Who's to say? But interesting story though. I'm wondering about the through the windshield without breaking the windshield.
Hmm.
I don't know. What does that suggest?
Well, it would suggest something like the technology that these beings have. They can manipulate matter.
Oh, there you go.
So
I like that
it's
idea.
like a higher frequency, a higher vibration that
hmm
you know if they
I like that. That's Mike. Higher
if they
vibration, Mike. Woo!
yeah they
That
match
was
the
his
certain
example.
vibrations that and just kind of like
Thank you for that visual.
yeah.
You want to hear the audio of it? That's what it sounded like. That would have been.
That's enough of
That would
that.
have been something. No. Hey, Mike. You know what? I just happened to add that.
Enough of that.
Right. I'm looking at my professional notes. This is our debut episode for the new YouTube exclusive Paranormally Zone flagship.
Yeah, if anybody was wondering why it's so much better than any other episode we've done, that's why.
I know. Well, you know what? If they want to listen to this, they have to subscribe to YouTube now. They have to at least follow us on YouTube. You know, that's the only place they're going to find it.
At least they don't have to pay $1 for it.
Hey, what do you talk? Why do you have to say that now? Come on.
But if they want if they want even more, then they
more of this.
Yeah. Well, you haven't done our Patreon plug yet.
Well, okay, real quick. If you guys sincerely do enjoy the podcast, no better way to support this podcast than signing up to our Patreon page. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, no obligations. You don't have to stick around. You don't like what you see or hear? Hey, that's absolutely cool. Thank you for trying it out. But we've got over 80 exclusive Patreon episodes. Can't find them anywhere else other than the Patreon page. And also, as of 1 week from now, I was going so smoothly too.
What?
As of for 1 week, maybe 10 days, I'll say 1 week. Not that anyone's gonna miss it, but if you are subscribed anywhere else to the Paranormally Zone, all the backlog, the catalog of the Paranormally Zone episodes before this one are going to be no more, except on the Patreon page. So you want to listen to last week's or 2 weeks ago Halloween Spooktacular? Well, you better jump on that right away because it's going to be gone. The only place you're going to find it is at Patreon. So, anything else you want me to say, Mike? Mike's shaking his head. He's like, "Good God, why did I get him started?"
No, we're fine.
Get your
totally fine.
I bought that thing for you too, and I'm regretting it.
No, it's got its special spot here, right next to Scotty.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Well, and also again to continue the necessary evil here, the video in question right now that is posted. The only place you can see that right now is on the Patreon page. We have a lot of other video exclusives on there. We have all of our paranormal investigative stuff is on there. A lot of cool things. We'd love to see you check it out if you feel up to it. Well, I'm looking at my professional notes yet again, Mike. Where do you want to go with this? What's your personal opinion about the star seed, the star people theory that's out that is well known? I mean, if you follow UFOs, you follow aliens, you follow Native American culture, or any number of aspects. Your thoughts on that? Okay, no, go ahead, please.
I think that we should make sure that there is or is not a difference between the term star seed and star people.
They kind of they're interchangeable.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of jokingly saying star seed, and I didn't want to say star seed because it was a bad joke. Oh. Seed.
Yeah, see,
he still doesn't get it, boys and girls.
Hey, I got it. It just wasn't. It just wasn't worth a reaction.
Oh, okay. I'll give myself my own reaction. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Anyways,
that's enough of that.
Stop.
But anyway, I think I love the whole concept of that. I mean, it's just another name from a culture of somebody from other than Earth. It's alien interaction. It's the star people. It's where is it where we come from? That's
That's what I'm kind of
that's
getting at. Yeah.
that's the culture that we hear of. That's a
It's like we're from there. We physically live here, and when we pass, we return
yeah,
to
right.
the stars.
Is it the same thing as the stars in heaven? Depending on, it's just called something different depending on what your beliefs are.
Yeah.
So
I really love the idea of star people and like all, it's kind of, we come from dust and we return to dust. I mean, it's kind of another interpretation of that, but we're talking interstellar, we're talking space now. So it's, I like the idea of kind of returning to that ether almost, if you want to
right.
use that term, because you never go away. You are always part of everything. It does kind of make you feel like your existence here is very minute in scale compared to pre-existence and after existence.
Mm-hmm.
Does it also kind of lend credence to the idea of maybe possibly returning to, adding a little weight to the idea of past lives? You are part of that cosmic dust, and after a millennia, after, well, you can't even put a time on it because time doesn't necessarily exist.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an infinite amount of times that you can return to this physical existence, on this particular earth? You return to the dust and you come back here, you learn, you hopefully better yourself, and then you return to the cosmos again, sometime down the road, maybe doing the same thing over and over again. I like that idea. It makes me feel a little cozy and warm inside. I don't know what you think about. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I like that idea very much. I agree with you. The kind of warm, cozy feeling, but
Right, exactly.
uh, it's. But what do we know besides theories and faith? I guess.
Is it possible to know until you actually die? That's the thing.
Well, depends on how well you trust your instinctual feelings and you know what you feel that actually is. Do you?
Can I read some stuff here real quickly, Mike? Kind of spark some more conversation here along the same lines what we're talking about. This is credit to Atmos.Earth, and this is in reference to exactly what we're talking about. Extraterrestrials acknowledged by many indigenous groups as relatives or even ancestors. We mentioned that earlier. Before, I'll try and skip through this. Indigenous communities around the globe have been aware of the existence of UAPs/UFOs for thousands of years. I totally agree with that. I think we've mentioned that several times. Very more aware, very more connected than perhaps you and I are. Millions of people probably are. And in fact, the indigenous cultures kept records of these encounters through oral tradition and artwork. We've talked about, petroglyphs. We've
Mm-hmm.
talked about any number of artifacts that look very eerily similar to, gosh darn it, what else do I call it? A UFO.
Right. Or alien beings.
Alien beings. Yeah, petroglyphs remain here. It says here that share experiences indigenous people have had with aircrafts of unknown origin, as well as non-human beings with unearthly histories. Among various native nations, these beings are often referred to as sky people or star people, star seed. What's more, these extraterrestrials, or perhaps ultra-terrestrials, are acknowledged by many indigenous groups as relatives or ancestors. The Hopi say their first home was in the Pleiades constellation, which they refer to as Chuhokan. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that
Chuhokan.
correctly. The Cree Nation has legends that say their ancestors arrived on Earth as spirits from the stars. Traditionally, the Zuni have also believed that they were related to a kind of star people. The Lakota, who is important to bring up here because the Lakota and the Dakota, the Sioux, kind of in
Ojibwe.
general, are kind of, the Sioux, the Lakota, Dakota for sure, are all kind of inhabited our area we're talking to, the kind of the Standing Rock area in general. Again, I apologize if I'm getting any of the specifics incorrect. Generally speaking, the Lakota have star knowledge. It says here, the Lakota have star knowledge that we have passed down through the generations, beginning with the ancient ones. According to our belief system, the Lakota belief system, each Lakota infant is born with a spirit from a star called a Wanagi. When we die, our Wanagi returns to the stars, traveling through what Westerners call the Big Dipper. It is upon the Wanagi, Takunka, Trail of Spirits, Takanku, sorry, Trail of Spirits, what Westerners refer to as the Milky Way galaxy, where we are then reunited with our ancestors. I wanted to specifically pull out that Lakota legend. I'm not saying it. I'm doing the air quotes here because that could very well be legit, could be
Right.
true.
Yeah.
I love that idea, and I always have, about when you're born, you are assigned a star.
Yeah.
I think that there's something that's so spiritual and magical about that. And it gives you that nice, warm, cozy, safe feeling, but also like that an omnipotent, I don't want to say powerful feeling, but where we are omnipotent in a sense, Mike. We can be everywhere and anywhere at any time, just not now. When we're in our physical existence,
Right.
that's when we're the most limited, obviously.
We're very bound to that. Yeah, the physicality.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you were maybe possibly assigned a star when you were brought upon this earth, and you shall return to said star when you pass on. What do you feel about that?
Well, that would be fine.
That would be fine. Mike's so cool with everything. He's just sitting there, whatever.
As long as they got a good hot dog stand there, I'll be fine.
Really? Really?
But these whether it's the tradition of the indigenous people or the stories or the beliefs really sound so similar. Like we come from the stars, we go back to the stars. Like Christianity, we come from the heavens or from the breath of God or whatever. And then
from dust we came and to dust we'll go.
Yeah, exactly. And then when we die, we return or whatever. It's like
whatever.
I mean, it's almost like there's such a similarity between stories between cultures.
Oh, absolutely.
That they, it's just said in that own cultural way.
Absolutely, 100%. The main theme, if for lack of a better term, is the same.
Yeah.
It's just different ways of describing it. So, I totally get that. I like it a lot. Oop. Mike's fiddling. He's fiddling with his ear. Are you okay?
Yes. Fiddling about.
Now we have just a couple minutes left because since this will be a video episode, we want to keep it brief just for the sake of our viewers. So.
Yeah. And I'm starting to get really tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew I'd put you to sleep.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I could play you some noise or some noise. I'll play some stuff that Mike just absolutely loves. Oh. I know he loves some of these. I just have to. You don't want me to?
Go ahead. No, I want to hear it. Oh
okay.
God.
What? I don't get it.
Moist, Patrick.
But again, I'm going to say the same joke, and you have to give me a second here.
Okay, go ahead.
So these happen one right after the other. So those again, that's what you hear in prison showers, boys and girls.
I feel like I'm getting hit in the head with a hammer.
If people haven't turned away yet, they did just now. So okay. I am happy. No, I'm not happy that they left.
Well, yeah.
Anyways.
That sounded really asinine.
So to wrap this up before I do wrap up the show with some did you know / weekly top 5 factoids about UFOs very briefly. Kind of sum up, Mike. What do you think? What we saw? How do you describe that experience? Was it meaningful, profound? I know I asked you this before, but were we meant to see that?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was like
Why? Why were we meant to see that?
there's some cosmic connection. I have no idea. I
Okay.
don't know.
I mean, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I kind
No,
of do.
we were in this very sacred spot where, like you're saying, it's possible that part of the reason for these ceremonies and offerings, where were these offerings being made to? Um, you know, uh, it
Were
could
they
all
checking it,
be
Mike?
tied in.
Were we being checked out?
Well, maybe there was some kind of a sensor that was set off to alert them that, hey, there's somebody there on the mound.
At a
Yeah,
not common time
yeah,
of the day.
yeah, standing around the singular henge, kind, if you will.
Now,
you know
okay. No, I'm not going to go there because I'll be kind of silly.
what?
But hey, you know what? I am going to go there because that's what we're all about, being silly and throwing out all sorts of ideas. As we mentioned on the Patreon video clip, immediate response to this, we got there pretty much stunned. I was kind of startled out of my boots
You look
because
like
they were,
you're stunned right now.
yeah, there was a, I was like, what? Sorry, that's
It's
another one
one.
of Mike's favorite. Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I was startled because we stumbled across like a hunting party who was up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I mean, this is after hours.
It was
And
dark. Yeah,
it was dark. So the silly idea that just popped in my brain, I know I'm probably going to be laughed at or not. Maybe, I mean, this is a sacred spot. It's protected by law. I don't know if hunting's allowed up there, Mike. I really don't.
yeah. I don't know.
Were they perhaps what we saw? Now, bear with me. Did they find out? Did they learn that there was maybe perhaps, I don't want to say it is, but maybe perhaps illegal hunting activity going on there? Maybe some animals were being killed that they exactly didn't like us killing. And so they sent out this, whatever the hell it was, to check out what was going on top of Standing Rock right at that time. And they left right when we got there. And so when they swooped by and they saw it was just silly you and me standing there, they just faded away. Said, it's all
Yeah,
good. It's clear.
yeah. It's like
See, I
finding.
said it's a silly, dumb idea, but
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
popped in
no.
my brain.
It's just that when they saw that it was just you and I, that it'd been kind of equal to finding two snails on a rock in a garden. It's like
The most,
they're yeah. We
yeah,
don't. Nah, that's nothing. They're
yeah.
nothing.
Well, they were closing. They were using their ultra sensitive audio recording technique, and this is what they picked up. They're like, nope, we're out of here.
But it was weird though because I mean you had to go back down to the truck because you forgot something. So
Yeah.
here I'm stumbling my way up, carrying my bag and my folding chair and all that stuff. And
Yeah, exactly.
in the further up we went, that wind was harsh.
Oh yeah,
and cold.
100%.
But yeah, but then I got up to the top there on top of that mound and I could just hear voices like way down, like I'm like, God, and I was like getting all excited. I was like, what are these
Yeah.
voices coming? I would never have expected that.
No,
And
I
then
wasn't expecting that at all.
And then I hear something going on between you and somebody else down there, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't know
Yeah,
whether I
like
should start running down the other side of the hill or what.
well, like, again, like I obviously had my back turned towards the hill because I was going to my truck to retrieve, another device. And I just casually I heard like the fence close behind me and said, "Oh, I didn't want to startle you."
Yeah.
And I glanced behind and I thought it was you. And then I was like, "No, you didn't startle me. I don't know why Mike is closing the fence right now or opening it or whatever." And then when I happened to walk back up towards the hill and I got closer to this guy, And I was looking at him, and he basically started laughing at me because I go, oh, you're not Mike, basically, is what I'm thinking. And he said, yeah, I was the one who was just talking to you. I
Oh.
just said I don't want to startle you. He's like, no, we're hunting right here. We don't want to startle you. I was like, oh, gee. I'm like, okay, whatever.
But
then I believe he asked me, he goes like, what are you guys doing? Stargazing or sightseeing?
Yeah, kind of.
I was like, meh. I don't remember what I said, but yeah, it was, I don't know. So, but that was a silly idea of mine that we were being checked out for any number of reasons. I don't know, because
Well,
we didn't have anything to offer for sure.
well, you're a lot cuter than I am. Maybe you. That's a joke.
Yeah, it is very much a joke, but thank you very, very much. I appreciate the humor. Yeah, thanks.
Anyway, but yeah, that was interesting. It could have been, they could have been Men in Black, only they were
Oh God,
incognito, they were in their men in hunting gear.
I know they kind of they left right when we got there.
Yeah, and at nighttime,
So
what are they hunting at nighttime?
that's why I'm asking.
You
So
know,
that's
I
why
don't know.
I can't quite wrap my mind around it. So Mike, Standing Rock, is it a sacred place in your mind?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
highly
I know that
sacred
was a
place
highly sacred place. I
for
mean,
eons.
for eons and eons. Is it a sacred place for more reasons than we are more than earthly reasons in your belief? Is there something that's going on there that we were lucky enough to perhaps be a part of in our own small way?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think. Yeah, and fortunate to eat, no matter how small of a way. I mean, it was absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh man.
But
Well,
yeah,
again, I still don't know if I'm going to be putting it public or not.
it really should
We
be.
shall see.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
Mike, we're gonna wrap it up. I got some UFO/UAP facts. I will leave you scratching your head.
Yes,
Woohoo! You ready for a few?
I am.
You ready for a few? All right. Hopefully, I'll find some different ones. Mike, between 1948 and 1969, would you care to guess how many reported UFO sightings took place in that 20-year span, 21-year span?
Oh, is that's during the Blue Book years?
Very good. Yes, it was. How many do you think were actually reported?
Oh man, I know I've heard it before, but I can't even. I can't remember, but I know I've heard the number before. But I
12,618 UFO sightings.
Yeah,
reported.
Reported.
Out of those 12,618, 11,917 were explained mostly as weather balloons, satellites, or other aircraft.
Temperature inversions.
Any number of them. Out of those 12,618 sightings, 701 of them remain unidentified.
There you go.
That's interesting. Mike, I'm sure you knew this. The term UFO was first used in 1947. We all know that story. Oh, the dogs are getting excited. They know Mike's getting ready to wrap it up.
That started with the Kenneth Arnold sighting. I think one of the reporters that was
very good.
Yeah,
that's good pull there, Mike. Good pull.
And Kenneth Arnold, from if I remember correctly, and I think I've said this before, but I'm pretty sure he was originally from Sabika, Minnesota.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's really interesting. That's about a half hour from here.
Yeah, not far from. Yeah.
Mike, a UFO in Los Angeles caused 5 deaths in 1942.
Yeah, the War of Los Angeles.
It was because basically of all the chaos that involved in the reported UFO sightings. Chaos ensued involving United States Coast Artillery Association after identifying, of course, the unidentified object as a weather balloon, but was not in time before 3 people dying in car accidents and 2 other people dying from heart attacks.
Yeah.
Due to the ongoing hysteria.
Yeah.
Numerous scientists, Mike, stationed in Antarctica have all claimed to have seen UFOs. What the hell's up with Antarctica?
Well, have I ever told you the story of I was in Reserve Officer Training Corps when I was in high school, ROTC, yes.
There you go.
For a short time. But
I think I know this. I know this
sergeant that he was our teacher. He was an gruffy old Air Force sergeant, and he would tell us a story. He had told us a story of when they were flying over the Antarctic. They could look down and they saw this huge circle of lights where there is nothing reported, where there was nothing there. I mean, it was just barren, you know.
Really?
And they said they could see this big, huge circle of lights, and then it just all went out at the same time when they were all of a sudden.
That's interesting.
So, yeah. So that was kind of a neat
Yeah.
firsthand story of what he
Yeah,
had
maybe
seen.
I haven't heard that story before. I thought that was, for some reason, I was thinking you're going to share another story. But that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that one. Mike, let's see here. A few other. Yeah, we all know about the Heaven's Gate massacre. We don't need to share that one. That's tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah.
The earliest recorded UFO sighting in America. The earliest recorded UFO sighting in America. Mike, 1639.
Yes.
Puritan John Winthrop, then governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony, wrote about a strange sighting in the sky in 1639. Witnessed what he called a flaming light in the sky, 3 yards square, while in a boat with a couple of his friends.
On the river.
When the light moved, it looked like a large swine.
A large swine?
Then when the light finally faded away, the 3 men in the boat were stunned to find themselves 1 mile upstream, as if the light had transported them.
Lost time.
I love that stuff. Why not, man? Why not? Yeah, let's see. I'll find one more to wrap it up here. Hopefully something that's kind of interesting. I don't know. None of these are very interesting. I'm kidding. They're all interesting. Mike, in 2006, a mysterious roar from space was detected by scientists. Scientists looking for sound signals in space. They were very surprised to hear, like I just said, a quote, mysterious roar. They used an instrument that was able to pick up radio waves from the heat of distant stars. And what the hell was that mysterious roar? We don't know. That's why it's mysterious.
It was Jabba.
There you go. Okay, sure. Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Mama?
Yeah, that's what it was right there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great to hear that in space? Steve Martin and Little Shop of Horrors.
Mama?
All right, Mike, that's a good sign to wrap it up. Thanks for making this work, buddy. Do you think this is a worthy debut for the flagship, the YouTube flagship? It's more of the same. More of the same, except we're on video.
Yeah, I don't want to assume or anything, so we'll see if anybody says anything.
I agree.
So.
No. I like the boing way too much.
Way too much.
That's my favorite.
Way
One
too
of my
much.
favorite.
That's enough.
Okay, sorry, computer Mike, what do you say about that?
Enough of that.
Okay, Mike, this has been great. Don't worry, everybody. This is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Only the beginning.
Yeah.
We've been saying we're going to improve for over a decade.
Only the beginning. God help us.
Yeah. So, in all sincerity, thanks for tuning in. If you have watched us and you made it to the end, we love all you guys. Help spread the word. Tell your friends if they want to listen to an awesome weekly, monthly, whatever the hell we end up being, paranormal podcast. Check out the Paranormally Zone right now. The only place you can find it on YouTube. Mike, what do our paranormal pals in the meantime need to do, my friend?
In the meantime, peace out and keep your eyes on the skies.
Nice.